Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today I'm taking a look at something I did not think I would own. We'll go ahead and open it up now. I just want to make a note. It arrived packed in this box inside of a shipping box, which I really appreciated because it protects that packaging very nicely. More than bubble wrap would. So they are in, when you order these from collectmajor.com, they come in these boxes, which is a good box, inside of a shipping box. So you don't have to worry about these being damaged. So I've reviewed some major stuff on here before. I did not think I would ever be reviewing a Big Rubber Guy because I have no nostalgia for the old LJN figures, WWF LJN figures. Matter of fact, I don't particularly care for them. I did have a collection of them at one point because a Phantomaniac donated them to me, knowing, you know, my collecting tendencies and my wrestling fandom. And when Major announced the Big Rubber Guys, I sold them all immediately because I didn't want to have any excuses to get into collecting these. Because they are, look, right off the bat, I'll go ahead and say they're $50 is kind of the standard price for them. Now that does include shipping, which is, you know, a huge difference because these are heavy. But I just didn't want to get into it. And so I got rid of everything that might compel me to say, well, I've already got something in this scale, this aesthetic form factor, whatever you want to call it. And that excuse made nothing because I've got this one, I've got two more pre-ordered. It's a thing. And here's how I ended up justifying it in my brain is these are art. Once I open this up and we take a closer look at the figure, I'm not looking at these as toys. I'm looking at these more like vinyl, like collectible toy type items, you know, not as action figures. And the more I get interested in this whole toys as art concept, the more things like this appeal to me. And also, I'm just a huge fan of Danhausen. The work ethic is incredible. The ability to just be his own thing and make money doing that is very admirable. So anyway, this went up. It was in stock, which was also a big part of the appeal. The fact that it was not a pre-order, that it was in stock, shipping now, was, you know, that's part of what got me too. But anyway, I'm a big fan of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast and the fact that they've got this toy company. And let's take a look at the cross sell on the back. This is how many figures they have put out just in the last, I don't remember when they launched this, a little more than a year ago. I don't think it's been 2 years. But this is wild. And there's more than this because they're different versions of Hawk and Animal that are Big Bad Toy Store exclusives. There are other exclusives, other repaints. There's different variations of lots of these. So they're making product and they're making it fast. And it's just impressive. And I like supporting this company. But they have taken these Big Rubber Guys and their major bendies. And again, I'm looking at them as art. They're collectible pieces of art. So there's the box. You can see this is resealable packaging, big giant blister, solid plastic in the blister. Great art. It's just a very appealing presentation. But let's take a look at the figure because that's the important part. So we've got a card back that slides out. Nice thick card back. Solid. It's not, you know, you'd think with that, since it doesn't have to support the weight of a glued on blister, this could stand to be a little thinner, but this is still a nice thick card back. Got some nice graphics on there, the purple and yellow, you know, identifying brand livery. The figure inside is in a tray. The tray, solid, holds it in place. You got the insert in the front. And I don't know quite what I'm going to do yet as far as displaying this. gosh, this really feels like I don't have any LJNs anymore, like I said, so I can't do any side-by-side comparisons. But this, the feel of it, the flexibility of it is what those LJNs were. It feels right. It's got that heft to it. And look at that. Stands up, which is something the LJNs mostly did not do. So size-wise, we're looking at just under 8 inches, which Danhausen's a smaller guy. Not that you could tell by this sculpted physique. I like the branding on the bottom of the boots there. Got the Big Rubber Guy's branding on the bottom. And then all of his gear. Let's just go ahead and do a zoom in, because we want to take a look at that portrait first. That manic, the big crazy eyes, the face paint, like they've absolutely captured Danhausen here. That sort of signature jawline. Enhanced, by the paint, but there. And then, of course, the black that's just painted on the front of his hair. Like, this is accurate to how he does the makeup. All the tattoos. Now, normally, with tattoos, I want them to look a little faded out, just like real tattoos are. But with this, I actually prefer them to stand out like this, because this is, as I said, to me, this is a piece of art in toy form. I don't need it. I want it to look cartoony. I don't need this to look realistic. This is not a G.I. Joe classified figure or anything like that. I like how deep and rich the tattoos are here, because I want to see all that detail. I don't want his face paint to be like washed out at all or anything. I don't want any wear and tear. Like, I want everything to look as crisp and rich as it possibly can. So you can see just fantastic detail all around there, which is really impressive, considering this is rubber. I would love to, now I did have Mike Canick on the Needless Things podcast. You can check that interview out wherever you get your podcasts, or here on the Needless Things channel. The video version is available. And if I had had one of these in hand at this point, I would have absolutely asked about the process of, putting deco on this rubber. Look at those faces. Look at the tiny detail in those faces and the teeth. I love this Bret Hart style gear. That's another reason I wanted this figure. Anybody that's in like a Bret Hart tribute gear type situation, I'm a big fan of that. And that's, even though I'm stopping collecting modern wrestling figures, I've still got a Punk on the way that's in a Bret Hart inspired gear. The boots have the spirals and the faces on them. I mean, the deco on this is insane. Taking it above this, the reason I'm able to look so favorably on these completely unarticulated statues is, again, the art aspect, because no LJN ever looked like this. This is taking that form factor and making a collectible piece out of it, rather than trying to just continue making that as a toy line. This is something completely different to me. And there's no reuse here. It's not like they're going to chop the head off and put a Bret Hart on this or anything. Like, this is just, one and done. Now, they could repaint another Danhausen for sure, and probably will. And should. But as far as getting, shared parts of any kind across characters, that's just not going to happen here. Very nice, very evil. So there it is. That is the Big Rubber Guy's Danhausen. What I have to assume is the first Danhausen. Goes right back in that tray. Nice and snug in there also, so you can get it back in the blister. And then the card will slide back into place. And you have got your collectible completely resealed. If you want to take it to a wrestling event, get it signed, whatever you want to do with it. Although these are a little big and unwieldy to think about getting signed for my taste. The major bendies, I think, are a lot better for that. But right back in the package, as good as new. Like I said, I haven't decided how I'm going to display this yet. I don't know if I'm going to hang it on the wall, because I don't plan to get a ton of these, but it also depends on what they're able to do. They're also doing action movie stars. I got Kurt Sloan from Kickboxer. They did a Big Rubber Guy of him dancing. It's crazy. I mean, if you just go to collectmajor.com and check it out, I think it's still available for pre-order now. It comes out in November. If they're going to do wacky stuff like that, I'm going to end up with more of these than I really care to have, but I can't turn down something like that. And my suggestion was Dylan and Dutch from Predator, 2 separate figures, but posed for the handshake. Like, that seems like a must. It's just a license. It's just a matter of them getting the license to do it, and I think they do it. So there you go. This is my first Big Rubber Guy. It's not my last. I just could not be more impressed with the quality, with how quickly they're getting these things out, and with just they're making product happen. In so many of these independent toy companies, that's a big, big challenge for them. So, go check out collectmajor.com. See if there's anything that interests you. Like I said, Big Bad Toy Store, I think, still has their Road Warriors in stock, but I'm not positive. But, once you see these in person, I think you'll get what I'm talking about with that collectible piece of art aspect. This is just, it's just a very cool piece, and I'm happy to have it. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. And until next time, buy what you like, or be cursed.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.